The tiny English town getting a massive glow up, top UK universities, and Gen Z's word of the moment. Students across the country have recently received their A-level results as they look to move to their preferred university after months of waiting. By next month, it will be Freshers Week with thousands of 18-year-olds set to embark on their coming-of-age journey. But apart from the fun to be had at the SU or nightclubs, or even some very late nights at your halls, education is the main reason to be attending, mostly. And the top 5 unis in the UK have been ranked by the Complete University Guide. The top 2 are the obvious, Cambridge and Oxford, followed by the London School of Economics and Politics, with the University of St Andrews and Imperial College London making up the top 5. Have you ever heard of Wythenshawe? Well, this tiny UK town just outside of Manchester is set to gain a £500 million makeover, which will see 1,700 new homes built, along with new shops, restaurants to the area. After working in Stockport and Salford in the local area, developer Muse is overseeing this revolution for a town who has not had such a change since the 1970s. Although there isn't a start date, there is a commitment from the local council to pledge £30 million in funds to get things off the ground. So the new football season is here, and the English Premier League is set to replace its very controversial video assistant referee, known mostly as VAR, with a bunch of iPhones strung together. Yep, now it is slightly more fancy than that. The new system, nicknamed Dragon, uses 28 iPhones to make accurate offside decisions. The phones are mounted around the pitch to capture high frame rate footage from several angles. The old cameras could only manage 50 to 60 frames per second. The new one can go up to 100 frames per second. But even if you're not the biggest footy fan, you will still likely hear moaning about VAR, which Apple cannot stop. A Scottish and Irish rock formation dating back hundreds of millions of years could give evidence to scientists for a theory called Snowball Earth. The theory argues that the planet's oceans and land were covered by ice during 2 cooling events between 2.5 billion and 580 million years ago. These events may have sparked the development of life on Earth, and the rock formation is proof of a transition into a snowball Earth from a previously warm and tropical environment. Sea lions have begun freelancing as underwater camera operators to help scientists. This new trend has begun in Australia as researchers enlisted endangered sea lions to help them map out the bottom of the ocean. 8 adult female sea lions had small lightweight cameras glued to their fur. The equipment weighed less than 1% of their body weight to prevent harm and allow the animals to move without restriction. Using 89 hours of recording, it helped uncover 5,000 square kilometers of seabed in South Australia. We've had Brat Summer, the rebirth of NSYNC thanks to Deadpool, but now the Gen Z trend of the moment is Demure. Jules LeBron, who racked up over 8 million views recently for a video in which she explained that in doing makeup for her work, very demure, very mindful. That line has sparked thousands of videos taking on the phrase tons of different situations. The reason? Mostly it's fun to say and shows you are mindful about things. If you've had trouble sleeping recently, Dr. Karen Rajan might have the help you've been looking for. The NHS surgeon and content creator details an almost Spotify shuffle we can perform to help us doze off faster. The method involves using a word like bedtime, take each letter of that word, think of another word starting with that letter, and visualize it. So after bedtime, you could choose words like bear, brace, bones, bench. Dr. Rajan urges that you visualize these words too, as it simulates micro dreams. In an effort to tackle misinformation, UK schools are implementing ways to teach children how to spot fake news. Announced by the Education Secretary Bridge Phillipson, the curriculum will be overhauled to include ways to identify propaganda and fake news. Finnish students already learn this in their media literacy classes, and the aim is to help younger generations combat disinformation, fake news, and conspiracy theories on social media. That's it for this week. I'm off to freelance with sea lions, try sleep shuffling, and cram Demure into my daily life. See you next week for more bits for your brain.